Hey everybody, welcome back to Project Overflow. Thank you so much for being here. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. But if you've liked our content before and have never pressed the thumbs up, maybe it's time to press the thumbs up and also subscribe. Okay, because when you subscribe and like, this content actually goes out to more people. The algorithm from YouTube will send this out to more people just like yourself who is probably needing to listen to alternative views or more views on how do you handle some of this question when it deals with personal finances. All right, so welcome back. Okay, we were talking about this question and that a lot of people are going through. In fact, a lot of our friends are actually asking, how can I go and make more money? How can I, is there a side hustle that I can do? And we were talking before, just before this, the recording that we are doing here, or this session here. How do we tell them what to do, right? And it's very difficult because unless you do have a plan and you understand what your plan is and the goals are set right, it's going to be very difficult. And that's what we talked about in the previous episode. And so this episode, we actually want to go through some solid steps that you can put a solid plan in place so that the next crisis you'll be able to ride through it rather than suffer through it. Okay, so we're going to answer that question now. Zuan, what do you think? What are some of the very important factors to have in order to ride through the next crisis? Because the next crisis will definitely come.
Yep. For me, I think the most practical step is first of all going back to look at the basics, right? What is your basic essential do you need to survive? Because a lot, like Eugene just mentioned, we were just discussing about this. Some of our friends asking us, what can I do to make money? But most of the time, when people ask this question, when I ask back this question, how much money do you actually need to make? They don't have a number. It's like, oh, 10, the magic number, 10,000, right? Additional 10K a month or 5K or 20K a month. But so I think instead of that, putting on that stress on yourself and looking for business to make 5K, 10K, or even 20K a month or above, I think the question is to ask is how much money do you need to, what's the bare minimum you need to make now in order to make it worth your while. If you're going to invest and go into something, right, into a business or even a side hustle or even take up a job, what is the amount that is needed? And many times when I ask this question, the amount is not a very big amount. It's usually ranges about 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit to survive every month. So for me, is the plan is first of all knowing how much money is the bare minimum you need to survive every month. Okay, and then the second question I would usually ask people is, okay, then how much time can you allocate to make this amount? So how much time can you allocate to make this amount? Can you allocate 2 hours additional a day or additional 4 hours a day? So how much time? And then we reverse calculate and see, does it make sense or not? Okay, so if it makes sense, then only from there you might not even need, based on your experience and based on your talents, you might not even need to go and start a side hustle. You can do simple things like freelancing. You can even do some of, because I know some people also, they are very good in baking or cooking stuff at home. If that effort covers what you need, go and do that first. So that's just my take on it, to really look at the numbers and also the time needed to go and achieve those figures that you need. Then only selecting the vehicle to do that.
Yeah, I think that's some great wisdom there, right? So, guys, if you didn't hear it properly, do rewind and listen to some of these things that Zuan was saying. I think another thing to be really really careful of and important to understand is when Zuan was talking about bare minimum, he's really talking about what is the bare minimum. Okay, I think a lot of people think that I want to live a certain lifestyle and keep that lifestyle, although my income has dropped 50% or 80%, or some don't even have a job and they can only have enough uh, uh, assets of up to 3 months survival. And then this pandemic has lasted for 1.5 years, and probably the economic uh, wave of downturn actually is dragging. That means the pandemic came first and then it drags. So the drag could be another 6 months or so before we can see an upturn, right? So if that is the case, then what are you going to do, right? So I think above and beyond what Zoom was saying is, take every opportunity, but count the cost, meaning you must know how much you actually need. So once you know what you actually need, number one, it takes away the stress because you actually know, oh, okay, it is a finite figure, it's not infinite, right? So number two, you can now decide, make better choices to decide what you can be doing in terms of your time to be able to make that amount. Okay, so I think a lot of times during this kind of crisis, people are trying to grapple. That means they're trying to hoard, and keep as much as possible. And they're going out there to work 12 hours, 15 hours, but they don't realize they're only making less than $8 an hour or 8 ringgit an hour. Or some of them are making 5 ringgit an hour. They say, let me go and drive Grab for 12 hours, right? But according to where you are at in terms of your skill set and your experience, there are many things that you could be doing. But before that, definitely make a solid plan. And the first step of a solid plan, what is the minimum amount do you need to essentially survive? Okay, it's not, I can survive with eating Grab food every day. That's not survival means, make a sandwich, stay at home, right? Eat, buy a 1 kilo of potato, and see how the ration lasts you for 1 week. So these are the things that you can start doing, because it's actually quite good, right, to be able to now see what is the minimum you can deal with. And I think that is what's important. Okay, so yeah, we've got other tips for you, and you probably need to watch the next episode to be able to get this. But definitely within this time, stay safe, but start to make out this plan, because the idea is, how do you get out alive of this crisis? Stay alive so that you can build again when the economy gets better. All right, we'll see you in the next episode, and I hope that this would have helped you. Now, give you a thought, or a key, small key, to open the first door of unlocking this mess that's in your head at the moment, feeling stressed. Okay, so we'll see you again. Take care. Bye.
Bye.